Hello again, my solicitors. This is where I start. First, I want to say that this channel was created with the purpose of giving the messages I needed when I was younger, messages that I needed when I was almost broken inside, or in those moments when I felt like a failure, anxious, or afraid. In those moments when I felt weak and I was searching for a friend, a message for me to myself, or just a motivation to wake up and be who I really want to be, or simply the best version of myself. While I do find some good messages on YouTube or Spotify, it's still hard to connect with it because I feel that I'm different from the conventional girl. I don't mean that they are all common or the same because everyone is unique, but you just know when you are different deep down in your essence. That's why I chose the name Sunny Essence. And it's different because I feel that my energy isn't dark like some other girls on their channels. I think I'm not the type of girl who is shiny and sunny. I really, really love summer. I love spring too, but summer is my true element. Don't you just love it? When you think of summer, don't you immediately feel the sea breeze and the taste of a good ice cream? Don't you just love how the sun appears at 6 a.m. and stays with us until 9 p.m.? It feels like the universe is giving us more time to live, to study, and to invest in ourselves. In summer, I feel motivated and light, literally light. I don't have to wear heavy layers of clothes that restrict my movement. I can just wear t-shirt and shorts and feel free. But in winter, autumn, you have to layer up. And all those clothes keep you from moving your body freely. You know when you wear those heavy jackets and you feel all puffed up? You can move the way you would like to. I also say this because I'm such a cold nature person. That is the reason behind the name Sunny Essence. That's the heart of Sunny Essence. I've created a space for everyone who, like me, doesn't always fit the typical mold we see online. I'm not here to be a hard-hitting coach or to tell you to just force your confidence. I'm here to speak from my own truth, including those moments of insecurity we all feel. I truly hope this message and this channel reach the people who need it most. So, as I always say, without further ado, here we go. I'm going to call you my solicitors because, as you know, my channel is Sunny and yeah. So today I want to talk about love, specifically self-love and confidence, but for the place of honesty and light. You see, I believe there's a different kind of strength, one that doesn't need to be loud or tough all the time. It's okay to have weak moments. That's where our real growth starts. You don't always have to be tough or pretend to be unbreakable. You have weaknesses inside and fears inside. So I want to talk to you starting from that point. I'm just like you, a real girl, a common person who wants to tell you that even if you lack confidence or feel afraid, you have to mentalize and try to be the best version of yourself because you only live once. You only have this life. Even if many lives exist, or if reincarnation is real, this is your life right now. This is the first time you are living here in this moment, in this year. Even if you were born again in another body, you wouldn't have the same name, the same soul, or the same purpose. This is your one life. Try to do your best. Don't force so easily. Try to be happy, stay optimistic, and try to look for the positive in every situation, in every way of life. Because if you always with this kind of negative emotions, what do you really gain? Okay, let's get back to the topic. We were talking about confidence, right? What I'm trying to say is that even if you don't feel confident right now, You have to find strength from somewhere. Tell yourself, okay, I'm strong. I can do this. I am. And then say your full name out loud and remind yourself, I have confronted this and that before and I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still standing and healthy, and I am lucky because I have opportunities in life. And whatever this is, this challenge, it cannot compete with me. It's not stronger than me. It's not going to break me, weaken me, or pull me down. I recognize my fears and I recognize my weaknesses, but because I recognize them, I know what to do. This is not me. This is just the feeling. And feelings are not me. They are just something I am feeling at the moment, but they don't define who I am. I'm doing my best because I know myself. For example, I might be a nervous person, or maybe my sun sign is in Leo, Virgo, or Libra, but I have the confidence to work on myself and against the hardships of the world. So, the first step, and something I will always stand by, no matter what you hear on other places, is self-knowledge. If you don't know yourself, you can't truly love who you are or have confidence. It's like vanilla ice cream. If you've never tasted it, you don't know if you like it or not. So it's the same with you. You have to know yourself to love yourself. If you don't know your weaknesses and your strengths, if you don't know what you love or what you hate, or how you react in certain situations, then you can truly identify who you are. If you don't know if you are more positive, negative, or optimistic, if you don't know your style, your preferences in music, or your own outlook on life, you cannot fully love or accept yourself. You need to know your light, but you also need to know your darkness. Once you recognize your darkness, your weaknesses, and your fears, you have to name them. It's important to name them because naming them is the first step towards accepting yourself as you are. Only then can you start working on the things you want to improve. Also, knowing yourself is a daily process because life constantly puts you in situations where you discover new things about yourself. You might think, oh, I react this way or that way, and you didn't even know you would react like that. I truly believe there are specific instruments you can use to achieve that. I love using astrology, for example. I'm not the ultimate expert, but the things I've learned are definitely accurate. I'm totally convinced of that because I've invested so much time in it, and truly, truly believe me, I have literally read the birth chart of my brother, my many, many, many university friends, and even some people I met through my MBA. There's a whole other horror story there, but this podcast isn't a place for that. The point is, I do this not only to understand myself, but also friends and the people in my environment. Because everyone, influences you. I've spent so much time investigating birth charts to give people advice and understand who they are. So I say totally conviction that my level in astrology is upper intermediate. And I really believe I can help you. I might not be the best, but what I know is enough to help others understand themselves. But I don't just use astrology, I also use MBTI. This is the unique value and the best part of what my channel offers. And by saying this, I'm not just telling you to comment, follow, or subscribe. No. I just want to help you in the way I wanted and needed when I was younger. I like to combine my knowledge of astrology with MBTI because I usually identify someone's MBTI type just by observing their behaviors. I often think, oh, you are an ENFJ, an ESFP, or ISTJ. Even without a test, I'm usually 90% certain just by feeling your energy. But of course, it's always good to have the actual results to be sure, because that confirmation is where your real journey begins. And to be honest, for years now, I've tried to understand not just myself, but my brother and my mom too. I've also investigated graphology and numerology. I might not be as much of an expert in those as I am in the first two, but I love observing how people assign their names, whether they use big letters, small letters, or separated letters. Every mark is different, and I love mixing all these tools together. Also, in the diagnosis stage, I have to mention numerology, and not talking about just seeing numbers popping up on a clock or appearing in your dreams. I mean, using your name to find your destiny and mission through your name's number. You also have two other last names, of course. Every last name has a different meaning and carries the weight of different generations. You carry that legacy on your back. So I really enjoy bringing all these tools together, and I really, really love meditation. For me, it's the best thing I've ever done. It's the best tool I found to forgive myself and find true peace inside. It helps me see the world with love and compassion, because once I forgive myself and feel compassion for myself, I can see other people in the same way. So this is the first thing I want to talk about. Compassion and forgiving yourself is achieved by taking care of yourself. I think it's really, really important to care for your body as your temple. And I'm not just talking about showering or being clean. I know there are many channels that say, okay, try to be clean, try to organize. But I don't do this just to build a habit or to become a different person. I do it out of self-love. When you start taking care of your body as it is, and you do it for love, not just to check a box, everything changes. You don't do it to impress others. You do it for the love of yourself. I want to talk about this from the perspective of love. Because when you love someone, don't you want them to eat well, drink water, and take care of themselves? You want the best for them. It's the same with you. When you love your body and accept yourself as you are, you start to take care of yourself. Not because others see so, but because you feel good in your own company, right? My God, there is so much I want to say. When you take a shower, put on your body cream to hydrate yourself. Smell good. Use a hair mask. Hydrate your hair and nails with care. Even if they are simple, put cream on your hands, because they are always need hydration. Not only your hands, but also your feet. Take care of your face. Use a moisturizer. Wear sunscreen and drink the water your body needs. You know what? I used to have an app where I put my height, weight, and age, and it calculates the liters of water I should. I also log my meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it calculates my average daily calories and tell me the liters I needed per day and at what time I needed the most, like before lunch or after breakfast. It would send me reminders like an alarm to drink some water. At first, it was just about building a habit, but now I don't even need the app. It's more than a habit now. My body calls me and said, okay, I need water now. And I said, okay, I hear you. Let me give you some water. What I'm going to say now might be the most controversial part, and probably I'm going to be roasted for it. I don't like coffee. It's not that I hate it, but I just don't a coffee person. For me, coffee, it's fine, maybe once or twice a week, but if I don't drink it, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't give me that wake up boost or extra motivation that others feel. I guess everybody is different. Actually, the reason I don't like it is because if I drink coffee at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m., I can't sleep. And I love to sleep because I love myself. I don't want to have dark circles under my eyes, even if honestly coffee at night tastes better to me. And instead of coffee, I choose things like oatmeal or milk. I really like milk, and since I'm not lactose intolerant, milk is fine for me. I also really love matcha. There was a time when I drank it every day, but I realized I was drinking too much. So now I just stick to 1 cup. I also love French orange juice, except when I'm with my period. And I also like drinks made with strawberries or blueberries. Going back to sleep, I like to sleep well. I'm not the kind of person who stays awake overthinking the next day or what I did during the day or deep philosophical questions like the third dimension at night. I'm a sensor, as my MBTI says. And my recommendation to you is don't overthink it at night. When you go to bed early or just at a good hour, don't give yourself time to worry. Just take a shower, not necessarily your hair, but your body. Feel clean, feel good, and just sleep. Maybe back in university, I had to stay up late until 2 o'clock or 3 a.m. And at that time when you try to go to sleep, well, in my case, when I tried to go to sleep, even if I put my head on the pillow, I couldn't sleep immediately. My head would start thinking about what I studied, the exam, and what I had to do. One thought led to another, and it just grew bigger and bigger. And before I knew it, an hour had passed, and I was still awake. So I gave myself a recommendation, and this is for you too. Put your mind in blank. Don't tell your brain, don't think anything, because the mind is tricky and it will do the exact opposite of what you want. Just put it in the blank, truly blank. Imagine you are in a massive, infinite blank room. Focus on the fact that your body and your brain are just one part of you. The mix of them is your spirit, your essence. Breathe calmly, and the moment you stop overthinking, you fall asleep. That's the reason why I hate to sleep late. And that's actually why I hate winter, because I can't fall asleep as fast as I would like. I know many people say, but in summer, it's too hot to sleep. No, in my case, it's the opposite. I'm a person who gets cold very easily. Now, here are more 2 tips. Tip number 3 and tip number 4. Tip number 3, surround yourself with positive people since they influence you even if you think they don't. It's a mistake you think you are different to the energy of others around you. And more importantly, don't believe you can change people. No, that's wrong, and you are being naive, even an idiot, if you think that. People don't change who they are. They can only improve. They might become less dark or less toxic. For example, if someone is afraid of heights, they can work on it with NLP tools and feel less fear, but at some point, they are still going to be afraid because it's part of his nature. That natural instinct stays with them. That's what I think people can truly change their essence. They can improve themselves, but they don't transform into someone else. So focus on improving yourself instead trying to change others. You can help someone work through fear, but shadows and traumas don't just disappear. Every dark side is usually a past experience held in the heart for a specific moment in their lives, or even something from previous generations. So you have to understand that people don't just delay traumas. They learn to accept it and change their perspective so they can continue their lives. And it's the same with you. If you surround yourself with people who are constantly stuck in their trauma, you absorb that energy. You are empathetic and you would end up feeling the exact same way, that carrying that bad energy, or even worse, adopting their bad habits. So protect your energy, set limits, and respect them. Because how can you expect others to respect you if you don't respect yourself? If you tell yourself, I'm going to the gym every Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m., but then Monday comes and you don't go, you are failing to honor your word. If you don't honor yourself, how can you expect the world to be honest and honorable with you? It starts with you. You have to be the first one to value your time and your promises, and then, of course, your environment would improve too, but it depends on the people around you, right? Sometimes even your parents can be the ones who put your peace at risk. It's hard to admit, but if the people closest to you are toxic or making you feel unsafe, you have to be even firmer with your limits. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. And finally, my last tip, set goals and pursue your dreams. Okay, when you love yourself, take care of your body, and surround yourself with truly people, you start to feel this incredible energy. It's like a Spider-Man scene when Peter gets that new suit and feels unstoppable. That's how confidence works. You feel like you're in a halo of light. You're in such a good mood that you feel you can do anything and become whoever you want to be. But remember, confidence isn't something you have 24/7. We all have weak moments. The secret is that when you build it bit by bit, it becomes much stronger than your fears. As I told you before, in those moments, when you set goals and work for them, it's because the other three tips are already working. Your body is careful, inciting out, your mind is healthy, and your environment is good. It's about surrounding yourself with a tribe, friends, and family who believe in you and support you when you fail. Even if their goals aren't the biggest or if they are different from you, the important thing is that they trust you. When you have that foundation, you feel the strength to get up to what you want. And please set realistic goals. Don't try to be the best in the world overnight. Start small, achieve those first steps, and then grow. But more importantly than reaching the finish line is loving the process. And if you fail, don't feel bad about starting over. Life happens only once in this specific way. This is the only time you would be you with your name, your parents, and in this very century. Even if you believe in rebirth, this specific life is unique. In another life, there would be different parents and different situations. It wouldn't be the same, right? So even if you don't remember what came before, just try to do your best for yourself and for those around you. Be the motivation, be that engine even for your children or your future children. If you don't want kids, that's perfectly fine. But if you do, remember that you have to start with yourself. You have to change and be better so they can be better too. To build that life, having a good partner is also important. But remember, to attract the partner you deserve, you must start with yourself. When you are truly who you attract the kind of person you deserve. When you love yourself, you attract someone who will love you too. I know this was a much longer podcast than I thought, but it comes from the deepest part of me. These are my most inner thoughts, and I truly believe they can help you. Also, I would like to say that everything, truly everything, comes from love and from God. So trust in Him. I want to share that lately I started reading the Bible. There are things in there that are, well, a bit weird, and you are not obligated to agree with everything. You are allowed to have your own point of view. That's my case too. I'm not a traditional religious person, but I trust in God and I believe in Jesus Christ. And that's the reason I started reading the Bible, to understand Him better and to try to live as He wants me to. But as I said, there are parts in the Bible that I don't agree with. However, there are other parts where I feel that deep conviction and peace. Those are the parts that make me reflect on my day and what I do. I usually read a couple of chapters before bed when I'm already in my sanctuary, my room, and it helps me to find that connection. If I feel really motivated, I even start to write a prayer of thankfulness. I underline the topics I love. So that's another recommendation. Start reading the Bible, not to be a religious person, but to find peace. I really love that feeling. It's a habit you can choose to start. I do it from the place of love because at the end, everything is love, right? Everything is about that. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. See you soon, my solicitos.